During the never-ending second stage of the 2026 Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium, the issue of fuel came into play along with tires, since they had to change over to the wet weather tires to race that second stage of the race. One person who was displeased with the decision made by NASCAR to go and allow teams to fuel up was Chase Briscoe's crew chief, James Small, with the number 19 Bass Pro Shops Toyota team for Joe Gibbs Racing. He was told he was fine on fuel to begin with and was racing for the lead with eventual winner Ryan Preece as a caution came out. A couple of Hendrick cars were in the back, and Larson and Elliott had run out of fuel after having issues and stopped on the racetrack. Small was quoted as saying, "This is complete bleep," end quote, like you were meant to start the race full. These bleep didn't start the race full. So it's their own problem if they're running out of fuel, end quote. In the end, for Chase Briscoe, he was able to still get a top 10 finish, fell off there late in the race. They also, that was part of the problem too. I think they also decided, on top of calling for fuel and allowing everybody to go and put fuel in the cars, they didn't go and allow teams to make a decision on whether they wanted to put slick tires on or not with a drying racetrack, because they had been driving around on it for 180 laps, or at least 80 laps plus another 80, I would say, under yellow. So they didn't allow the teams to make that decision, and that it's also was a problem. It saw Carson Hocevar and Tyler Reddick both pit and attempt to use dry tires, but then we're told they had to go and put back the rain tires that they had on the car. They weren't working with the usual pit crews. It's just their team, the team guys having to go and do those pit stops because they didn't have competitive pit stops going on due to just the whole entire setup that is Bowman Gray Stadium. But in the end, a couple of controversial decisions when you also look at what the race was, especially in the second half of the race. Basically became a caution derby. Lots of people spinning off the bumper of somebody else, getting turned. Issues with traction due to the weather conditions. Issues on restarts and people getting used up. But also taking the strategy aspect out of the game was an unfortunate piece, and it also kind of speaks to the rules, and were people actually following them or going and taking liberties knowing that they might be able to get away with it by going and under fueling. But something that we'll look at is not a big deal anymore. The race is over, but it's interesting how that all took place.